Good morning. I sound a lot more impressive than I really am. I'm just telling you up front. So. On behalf of the Department of Education, the Office of Special Education, and the Indiana IEP Resource Center, I am delighted to welcome you to Indiana's 4th annual Focus on Inclusion Conference. Most of you in the audience are probably familiar with the Resource Center from the work they do to support you with the Indiana IEP system. But they do far more than find better ways to help you capture students' stories in a user-friendly, legally compliant document. Besides helping DOE with providing instructional, behavioral, and data collection support for struggling schools, the Resource Center is also committed to delivering powerful and strategic professional development like this outstanding conference. The cast that will be addressing you over the next 2 days is of the same caliber as those that walk the red carpet at the Oscars, but I'm sure they're not wearing Armani or Gucci or some of those things. But anyway, your presenters are the best and the brightest in our field. I have attended many of their sessions over the years, and I must say, if you don't leave here enthused and committed and feeling good about what you do or hope to do in your schools, then you are probably in the wrong place today and every day. I am especially pleased to be welcoming you to this particular event because I am passionate about the importance of growing inclusive schools. In this age of racial unrest and radical extremists, it becomes even more paramount that students are taught in schools where tolerance is expected and diversity is welcome. We started this conversation years ago with the onset of Public Law 94-142, followed by IDEA. The push for mainstreaming in the 70s, the Regular Ed initiative of the 80s. These all nudged schools to have students with disabilities in classrooms and buildings with their same-age peers. I often wonder why, after all this time, we still find pockets of resistance to meeting the needs of students without classifying some of them and separating them from the masses. Why, with all of the technology, research, and highly qualified teachers, do we still accept the notion that some students don't belong in a particular classroom, school, or community? I guess the answer is institutional change takes time, and it takes commitment, and it takes champions, one or two at least, to take a risk and bring people along. In the next 2 days, you will be in the presence of champions. Mitchell Yell, Eric Hartwig, Michael Remus, Paula Kluth, our own Daniel McNulty and Kristen Sievers-Coffers and Karen Stein. They are all champions, passionate about their work and about helping all of you find better ways to serve all of your students in inclusive schools. As for your keynotes, Julie Weatherly is a special education attorney by trade, and she can talk faster than anybody I've ever met. Wait till she gives you those 60 tips in 60 minutes. You'll know what I'm talking about. She has a wealth of information to share. And then there is Marilyn Friend. Marilyn is the guru of inclusive practices and most well known for her work with co-teaching. She is someone who brings a lifetime of experience to share. I've known Marilyn for close to 20 years, and in 1998, I attended one of her seminars on inclusion. Being the elementary teacher at heart, I saved my notes, and yes, I did find them this week. Here's what she said 17 years ago, and I believe her message has not changed. She said, "Inclusion is about adult thinking more than about kids. It's a philosophy, an attitude. It's not only an acceptance, but an embracing of diversity." Melody Musgrove from the Office of Special Education in Washington, according to her, it is impossible to have an inclusive classroom without an inclusive school. And if you only have certain classrooms designated as your inclusion rooms and only certain teachers as inclusion teachers, then you're missing the point. Inclusion is a belief system that everyone adopts. Before I turn this mic over to John Dickerson from the ARC, who is also a rock star, by the way, I would like to tell you a quick story about a young man who single-handedly transformed his school. Stephen was a 20-year-old junior who was graduating the following year from Coney High School in Augusta, Maine, but he had never once set foot inside the high school doors. You see, it was 1980, and Stephen had Down syndrome. For that reason alone, he attended school from kindergarten on in a classroom in the back wing of a vocational center. Stephen was 20 years old and had never been in a school with his brothers and sisters and neighbors and friends. Being a newly hired director, I was determined to move his classroom into the public high school. Teachers boycotted, school board members challenged the move, even the cafeteria workers put up a fuss. But Stephen, with his friendly smile and happy-go-lucky nature, thrived. His academic skills improved, his social skills blossomed, and he had new school friends for the first time in 15 years. On the last day of school, a senior awards convocation was held. The last award was merely called the Senior Award, voted on by the senior class to honor a fellow classmate. The award went to Stephen. And as he accepted the award, he turned toward the audience, smiled the biggest smile, and raised his plaque above his head. And I still have a picture of that. The audience erupted in applause, and the entire room came to its feet. This was the beginning of a transformation, from a school where diverse learners were unwanted to an inclusive school where they were more than welcome. Well, a lot has changed since 1980, and we have lots of schools that embrace our students, all of our students. But today, more than ever, we need champions for kids like Stephen, champions for the change that is required to transform schools. I hope the next 2 days will give you the knowledge and tools and the desire you need to accept this challenge. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to the IEP Resource Center. Soak it all in and enjoy it. You don't get this opportunity very often. Thank you.